Alright guys, we're talking about my favorite content creator ever, Rogan. Honestly, she looking like a snack today. I don't know who contoured her eyebrows or whatever happened, but she's throwing up the peace sign, and I honestly feel at peace looking at this image.
Welcome back to a series so good, my grandma baked me cookies.
Hey bruh, don't mention cookies with Rogan on the screen, okay? You run a great risk.
In today's video, Hassan is now comparing himself to Penguin Zero or Moist Critical. He's now being exposed by more lawyers. He's also crashing out at them for pointing out literal facts. Remember?
So I missed this, and I didn't talk about this, but apparently Hassan flashed a gun on stream to intimidate a chatter. But the way he was doing it, he was like kind of flailing the gun around in a very flamboyant way. He's like, my chopper gonna smoke you. My chopper gonna smoke you, pussy. And it was very flamboyant, very gay. And from what I understand, it intimidated nobody, yet also breaks YouTube's slash Twitch's TOS, because you cannot threaten somebody with a gun on the internet and still have a platform. That's actually an incitement of violence, you absolute donkey. And he would know a thing or two about that. It's not the first time he's done that. He has called for violence before. He is a violent person, and let's just say the violence, if it were directed toward a fight with Sam Hyde, I would accept it, but when it's directed toward random chatters, random anons, it's a little pathetic.
Remember guys, the law is simply pro-Ethan. Asmongold and Tectone have both responded. Lots of updates from Hassan's orbiting moons, who are not doing very well.
Oh no. Oh no.
Lots of updates from Hassan's orbiting moons, who are not doing very.
And like, I don't want to bring up Kaceytron just because she was shown on the screen for 0.5 seconds, but I will. I think I've ran into people who recreationally do heroin that have their life more organized and together than her.
Very well. Subscribe, or you gotta share your next pizza with Rogan. You're
Sharing is caring, guys.
not getting a slice, pal. Now, quick recap. Last time we talked about Hassan, he was doxing and threatening a viewer for leaving a hate comment. And he was actually so stupid, he ended up doxing and harassing a completely innocent random other guy who had nothing to do with the situation at all. Now, it turns out the guy who he harassed actually responded. Here we got the Apex crypto guy. Damn, that's me. I definitely did not comment on any of the messages he read, but thanks for calling me an ugly skinny bitch, I guess.
No bad tactics, just bad targets, guys. I keep telling you, that's the quote they use. If you are a suspected anti-Hassan person, we will justify any and all harassment against you. They literally could have doxed this guy and had him swatted, and it could have been an oopsie-doopsie that they would have written off as like, oh, you know, this kind of stuff happens, okay? Whoops, but what else, you know? What else do you want me to say? Okay, whoopsie-doopsie, but we thought that you were against Hassan. And that's enough of a reason to want to, you know, ruin your life. Also, let me just tell you this, bro. I keep seeing him flash this gun. I believe this is like a Glock.
Stupid. He ended up dying.
I can't see it, but I will say, of course he gets like the little bitch gun, you know? Of course, when he compares himself to Moist Critical, because he's like, people didn't get mad at Moist Critical for showing a gun, but they're mad at me for showing a gun. It's like, at least if you want to be compared to Moist, how about you flash a rifle, a chopper, you know, that actually instills fear into people? Go all the way. Because even if I was this guy, and you're flashing this little gay-ass pistol, I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do?
Got the Apex crypto guy. Damn, that's me. I definitely did not comment on any of the messages he read, but thanks for calling me an ugly skinny bitch, I guess. I mean, it's crazy that Hassan still hasn't even apologized. I mean, your unhinged fanbase saw you bring up his face on your stream and tried to literally threaten him. Some of them probably still think this is the guy. The least you could do is clarify and apologize. But of course, Hassan will refuse to take any slightest bit of accountability. Twitch, hello? Can we ban Hassan so we don't normalize doxing random people? I have something for Hassan and his fanbase. Seek therapy Yu-Gi-Oh card. Proceed directly to your nearest mental health professional. Poor guy literally did nothing wrong and all of Hassan's demons.
The problem is that they already are in therapy, and the therapists are telling them that they're right. Telling Hassan's audience to seek therapy is like telling a fucking firefighter that he should become a firefighter. Like, okay, he's already done that. They're already all in therapy. They're on a grocery list of medications, and the therapists are honestly rubbing their hands in joy. They're like, hold on a second. In your intake appointment where we do a consultation to see how fucked up you are, let's just ask you a few starting questions. So out of this last, I'm looking at your bank statement here. I'm looking at a minus $120 purchase on twitch.tv/Hassan. What the hell was that? Oh yeah, I gave him like 500 gifted. Oh, what? Okay, yeah. You know, let's consultation over, meeting adjourned. You need to be in therapy every single day. So Hassan fans are really the ones that are paying these people and keeping their lights on. If you ever wonder why these therapists are living in like nice apartments in like big cities like New York, SF, why there's a high density of therapists there, it's because Hassan's audience, okay? They're the reason.
Jumping on him. Zero accountability by him and Twitch. How unexpected. And it was after this, a chatter called out Hassan, and then he started comparing himself to Moist Critical, pulling out the guns on Sneeko.
Is waving a gun around on Twitch considered a crime or breaking terms?
This retard doesn't understand that the difference when Moist Critical shows a gun, because he was demonstrating the difference between a clip and a mag to explain that Sneeko's terminology was incorrect, and the difference between that and then Hassan threatening someone is like so obvious. That's like saying, I'm gonna kill you with this gun, versus, hey, if you look at this gun, I can tell you about it. You're showing them for different reasons.
Of service. This is not a real gun, pussy. And not only
That's like the most ironic sentence. This gun's made of plastic and can't hurt anyone. You fucking pussy ass bitch, I'll kill you. Like, I don't get it. Also, I don't know if it's fake. Is it fake? Is he just trying to get out of jail? Is he trying to like defend himself now?
Not only that, but also, I like that this is the new meta. People are like, dude, I can't believe you were waving a gun around. Good luck, dude. Every single person that masturbated when Moist Critical did the exact same thing, okay, is now going, this guy needs to be banned immediately.
This guy's a retard, and it shows in every sentence he produces. It's honestly a world record of amounting of sentences to retarded. Like, it's crazy how many sentences he says that are retarded. It's like a 90% hit rate. It's actually statistically anomalous. Let's talk about it, bro. Let's talk about why people think it's cool when Moist Critical shows a firearm, although 99% of the time he's a chill, very low-key kind of person. And then the 1% of the time where he shows the gun to even make a point that isn't even about violence is kind of like, whoa, we didn't expect that. It's a subversion of expectations. Whereas when you do it, it's like, I want to kill a chatter. You know, there's nothing cool about when you do it. Okay? It actually was one of the most aura-less, aura-deficit moments I've ever seen. Okay, Charlie was demonstrating, but to be honest, I do feel like he was sending the message to Sneeko of come and try it. He wasn't threatening anyone. He was making it clear he can protect himself in response. Sneeko started it, Charlie finished it. I mean, I will say that there also is a difference that, like, let's say that's your interpretation of it. Sneeko also did pull out a gun and was dancing with it, threatening him at first, right? So even if his, you know, message was, oh yeah, you're gonna show a gun, well here's my gun, it's bigger. The idea is that you're matching the energy. Whereas when Hassan does it, he's like escalating it, you know? He's like, the chatter doesn't have a gun, but I'm gonna show a gun. Critical is like, oh, Sneeko has a gun, I have a bigger gun. So it's like, even if that's your interpretation, which maybe I can see how that is, it still shows that Hassan's a fucking loser.
Taste, please.
And how his circumstance is worse.
You should keep it in frame. I do.
Ah, yes, exact same thing. Of course, Hassan is gonna literally leave out all the context and argue in complete bad faith. Here's some of the differences between the scenarios. First off, you pulled out a gun and then showed a random...
And Charlie did it in a smart way. It requires nuance to interpret what Charlie's message was. Yeah, sure, right? And this guy is just like, let me just kind of flap around this fucking gun because someone literally just made a rude comment.
Unrelated guy's face, doxing a...
Like, it's not even like this person, who, by the way, is not even part of the beef, but let's just say this was the person who belonged to the chat message. It's like, what did this guy say? I'm gonna shoot you? Like, what? Why didn't you flash the gun when Hassan, when Sam Hyde said, I'm gonna kill you?
Random guy. And you essentially made your entire fan base go harass him.
You actually got scared and bitched away, you coward.
Over nothing. He wasn't even the guy who wrote the hate comment, so he literally went after an innocent person while brandishing a weapon, which is illegal, by the way. Moist Critical did not do that. He did not harass an innocent person. And then you didn't even correct it, which obviously makes it worse. Second off, these are different platforms. YouTube is obviously different than Twitch. It has different rules. On Twitch, you get banned.
Hold on a second. What's this guy's analysis on the current crypto market? Apex Crypto?
Different platforms. YouTube is obviously different than Twitch.
What's he saying here? BTC market turmoil, BNB miner.
Twitch, it has different...
I mean, I gotta look at this stuff, okay? I gotta take a look at the BTC shit right now.
Rules. On Twitch, you get banned for calling Frogan fat. On YouTube, you don't. So we just want fair application of TOS. If you call the guy a skinny bitch, obviously you should get the same treatment as calling someone fat.
That's right, yeah. So the guy who we thought wrote the message, he called a skinny bitch and then showed a gun.
And by the way, you were totally on your high
body
horse there
shaming,
defending
bro.
Frogan. I can't believe these people are making fun of her. Like, bro, you're doing the same shit. And then even more reasons, it's obviously different words, it's different context. If you remember the whole Sneeko versus Charlie situation, Sneeko actually pulled out the gun first. And he talked about literally going to Charlie. And Charlie made a joke about mags or something in his response. Obviously, the context is entirely different. And if you think a hate comment is equivalent to pulling out a gun, that is just completely stupid. Believe it or not, in this scenario, you are more like Sneeko than Charlie.
Yeah, literally. Dude, oh my god. How does he not realize
Provoked. The hate comment does not.
I'm just like him. I'm literally the next Moist Critical. Remember when everyone said Moist Critical was cool? They have to say that I'm cool now. You're a doofus, bro. You're a dork unit.
Not count as a provocation equivalent to somebody pulling out a gun on you. Charlie is way more justified because...
And that just shows you, like, the low impulse control. He's like, oh my god, I need to pull out a gun.
Provocation equivalent...
I mean, it's literally the same thing as Sneeko. Like, when people talk about how Hassan and Sneeko are two sides of the same coin, like they're both radical extremes to their own political agenda, it's more obvious with every clip. And it's especially obvious with this clip.
To somebody pulling out a gun on you. Charlie is way more justified because Sneeko first pulled out the gun and started dancing with it. If you think a hate...
Yeah, the mag looks like a real Glock. I don't buy the it's airsoft excuse.
Comment is equivalent to that.
I don't really know guns that well.
Everybody gets 1,000...
I have thought about buying a gun, though, at some point. But then I did see a stat that said, like, if you own a gun, you're more likely to die to a gun. So it's just like, I don't know. Maybe. But they definitely are cool. I've shot guns before. And they're sick, and I love CS. So maybe, wait a second, I just realized I embody the video games cause violence stereotype, huh? If I were to buy a gun because I thought they looked cool in CS, and there's a direct correlation with owning a gun and then having gun-related fatalities, wait a second. Wait. Let me tell you something.
Of those a day. By that logic...
Buy the print stream op IRL? Dude, owning an op? There's no way that's legal. Owning a recreational sniper rifle, that's gotta be completely contraband. There's just no way.
Basically, everybody should be waving around guns. And it was after this legal mindset called him out. He tweeted, just to be clear, if Twitch fails to act on this strongly, they open the door to a host of issues, legal and non-legal. Don't worry.
It's totally legal. I own a comp precision rifle. How, really? So I can just own a sniper rifle. Like, I could legitimately own a sniper with a barrel, and I could snipe. That's kind of insane.
He will be banned this Sunday for 23 hours.
Yeah.
It seems the law isn't...
Well, no, he won't even get banned.
Real dick rider, guys. The law is simply pro Ethan. I can't believe Legal Mindset has the audacity to talk about the law when there's a genocide going on. How disgusting. So anyways, he made a video called Twitch Has a Hassan Problem. First, he talks about the preferential treatment.
Twitch has always taken a preferential stance when it comes to enforcing its guidelines. Now, today, there was an absolutely extreme incident which really points out the problem for Twitch in having this unequal enforcement involving Hassan and how this can have legal consequences. And this is involving him swinging around what appears to be, and that's the very key here legally and overall, what appears to be a weapon.
Right, so obviously everyone is blatantly aware of Twitch's bullshit preferential treatment for anyone that agrees with their extreme branch of politics, which essentially means being an open terrorist supporter. And he also points out that how it doesn't really matter if it's a real gun or not. That was like a hot debate in the topic, but it doesn't matter because the person on the other side doesn't know that. For example, if somebody walked into your house with a fake gun and you didn't know that, you didn't realize, and then
you shot them out of self-defense, you're 100% because you had a fear for your life that was based on your information at the time.
Shot them in self-defense because you thought your life was in danger. They obviously don't get off scot-free just because it was a fake gun. There's no way that you could have known, and you might have actually thought that it was a real threat. Then he talks about how Hassan's response...
It's like the worst prank of all time. Like going into one of your buddy's house with a mask on and a fake gun. Bro, why'd you shoot me in the face, dude? Now I can't see out of my right eye. Bro, I took off the mask. It's me, it's your boy. The fuck are you doing with a fake gun? It's just like the worst prank ever.
to the hate comment is absolutely not proportional, which is something I mentioned as well. Like, you can't be waving around a gun for anybody that says type some bullshit in your comment section.
Also, isn't Hassan like anti-Second Amendment? Like, I don't really know the specifics on everything he feels issue-wise, but if he's a leftist, isn't there like a very strong chance that he's overall anti-gun? That's just a guess, but seriously.
The response that Hassan gives here is not proportional nor appropriate to these comments. Let's play this. So let's be clear.
Why? Because he's like going to war for Zoran Mandami? Baith, bro. That's literally so Baith. Protect and defend our politicians, bro. I mean, it's just such a LARP. It's such a LARP, dude.
He's gone and retrieved what appears to be a pistol. Now, many people have pointed out it could be airsoft or it is airsoft or whatever else. But the key here, and this is a key that is not just in analyzing this for Twitch terms of service, but also broader for the law, is that you can make a physical threat. You can make a threat.
Well, I think whether it's airsoft or an actual gun, like you can kill someone with an airsoft gun. Like it can be done. It would take a lot of ammunition, but at the very least, you absolutely could very seriously injure someone. Like, I mean, I'm just like airsoft. Well, airsoft is designed to be a safe recreational activity. Serious injuries and even deaths related to airsoft have occurred. So it's like, okay, regardless of it being real or fake, like, let's even say it's airsoft. It's like, are we going to sit there and act like you can't seriously injure someone or threaten them, their safety with an airsoft gun? Like, seriously? You can take someone's life with more ease with an actual gun than an airsoft gun, but it's still a threat of violence regardless.
Somebody with even a fake weapon, with a fake knife, with a fake gun, with a fake bomb. If you were going to try to hijack a plane
with a fake bomb, that's awesome.
And you attempted that with a fake gun, it would not be material in terms of your defense. You would not be able to say, oh, but, well, it was fake, so I couldn't do it all along, you know, when you get caught and arrested.
I also don't know if the word fake is appropriate, because like a fake gun, I think of a gun that legitimately can't do anything. Like it's a literal prop. It doesn't fire. Airsoft guns can still fire.
And thrown in jail. You don't get off because, oh, it was fake. No, you would lead a reasonable person to believe that was real, and a reasonable person could have fear of that knife, gun, bomb, whatever, despite the fact that it's not objectively real. So
yeah, I mean, that is exactly the case. If you're going to be taking a fake bomb onto a plane to troll the people, congratulations. I mean, you're still going to prison, you absolute moron. You still caused the terror, you made people afraid, you caused the unrest, and maybe there was no danger, but that doesn't matter at that point. And that is pretty much similar to the case with...
Like, am I tripping, or does the way that he brandishes his firearm instill no fear? Like, okay, this is a complicated issue, because on one hand, if you are a chatter and you don't know, you have a reasonable fear because this person has threatened you with a gun. But I also look at this and I'm like, I'm not afraid at all. So it's kind of a juxtaposition. Like, it's supposed to make me feel afraid because it's a gun, but it's, yeah, I have tiny wrists. Like, my forearms aren't that big right now, but it's like, there's something about, he's just like, it's the most gay way to hold a gun. It's just gay and it's lame and you're a pussy and you're a little bitch, and if I was the recipient of the threat, I would pretend to be afraid so that you can get banned, but honestly, I would be like, yo, this pussy would not shoot me for shit. Like, you just wouldn't. Like, you just would not, you know? Ah, man, like, you got it for the fashion. You got the gun for the fashion, fuck boy. You got the gun for the fashion, you little Turk. The young Turks. You're a young Turk, bro. You ain't gonna shoot me. Hold on a second. There's this Stack Swopo clip I gotta show you.
I'm trolling, nigga. Shut the fuck up. I'm trolling out here. Yo, it's not like the arm.
Yeah, he's a poser.
Hey, oh, she like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. And she makes it clap for her, nigga. And she makes it clap for her, nigga. And she makes it clap for her, nigga.
Yo, stop saying any words,
Oh, my bad, my nigga, my bad. My bad, my nigga. Say that. Crip walk, nigga.
I don't even think this is the right clip, but Stack Swopo is so funny. Hold on.
The fuck out of here.
Put them bitches up.
Nigga, you wouldn't shoot me, pussy. You're soft as baby shit.
Put them bitches up.
You're soft as baby shit. You're not gonna blow your gun.
I bet y'all shoot the shit out your
little nigga's not gonna shoot. Little nigga's not gonna shoot his gun. Oh, the little black boy doesn't want to catch a body. Black boy's not gonna shoot anything. Look at the black boy. You got your gun for the fashion, fuck nigga. You ain't gonna blow. I know you a bitch. I get sturdy on your block. I know you a bitch, nigga. You ain't gonna do shit. What a nigga gonna do to me? Nothing, nigga, and I walk off like a G. Fuck you.
It's like actually peak.
Hassan here. That viewer could have thought that their life is in danger. They don't really know if it's real or not. So the defense just doesn't hold up at all. Hassan Glazo's in shambles after this. Then Legal Mindset points out that he actually paired doxing with brandishing
The legal mindset against the Turkish mindset. Who wins?
a weapon, which could
3 oiled up men in a twerk off. We call that the Turkish method.
be illegal in some places.
Okay, fair enough.
Once again, brandishing the weapon, flaring it around. Obviously, there's a point to this. Obviously, there's an individual who this is directed at. You know, this is something that's not really ambiguous in the general intention. So now that you've paired, so you've linked up.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is no hate to this guy at all, because he's legal mindset, okay? He knows the law. I have a retard mindset, and I see the problem here, okay? I don't know if you need the legal mindset. You could have the meth head mindset. You could have the tweaker mindset, okay? Straight up, I think someone pulling out a gun on camera and saying that this person is in danger, or like, you know, don't fuck with me, you skinny bitch. I don't know if you need the legal mindset to analyze the problem there.
Brandishing a weapon, what appears to be a real weapon, whether or not it is, whether it's an airsoft or whether it's fake, you've paired up brandishing a weapon with doxing, which is revealing their private information, which, by the way, in certain jurisdictions, in certain places in the world, is illegal. So you've done 2 things which are potentially illegal. There's the brandishing, the threats, the intimidation, and then you've got the doxing, right? So you've got 2 separate things you're now doing together. So that this is combining to make it even worse.
But he did the same thing as Charlie. It is only similar if you literally look at them and go, well, both of them had a gun. Literally the most copium shit ever. He's literally showing the guy and flaunting his weapon in response to a hate comment, trying to get his fan base to go after them, scouring through his socials trying to find out exactly who he is. In the process, hurting random other people. It is just not okay in any circumstances.
Wait, did he apologize or no?
And I'm pretty sure
Why would I even ask that question? We all know the answer.
the guy who he doxed has a case against him, especially because he didn't even type.
Yeah, bro, honestly, if his name's Apex Crypto, why don't you sue Hassan and then take the winnings from the lawsuit and then full port BTC, my boy? That seems like one of the most alpha Apex Crypto moves out there.
The damn hate comment. Then after this, he talks about how Twitch needs to take action or they might be cooked on this.
Because now they've got to decide what they're going to do with Hassan. And in the past, they've only given him slaps on the wrist. That is, they've given him 1 day or 24-hour bans or sometimes 12-hour bans. And that's been all they've done with him. But now we've got a serious problem because we've got a situation in which if he is not banned for this, this opens up this behavior for others.
Right.
So it opens up this behavior.
Well, no, it doesn't, though, because obviously it's only for Hassan. Like, Hassan gets away with all of this. In general, I like the argument because what you're saying is that he's normalizing bad behavior. He's normalizing the ability for people to make threats of violence. But we all know that it's only him, right? Maybe you can act like it's normalization, like more people are going to do this because he did this, but they won't because they know that only he can do it. They know that it's a special case for Hassan. Like, you think Tectone is going to say, oh, Hassan did it, so I can do it. No, like, we all know that it's not the same for other people. We all know that it's literally just for him. You're like, I don't look at this and I go, oh, shit, wait a second. Oh, looks like change on Twitch is happening and I can brandish a firearm because Hassan did it. No, I'm going to say, oh, okay. That's just another case of him being able to do something that if I did, I'd get permud.
These threats for other people, which can bring on what appears to be real weapons, knives, bombs, and dox people, threaten them.
I mean, that is exactly the problem here. This is what happens when you don't punish people like Hassan. People get the message that this behavior is okay to do. And then they...
I guess, but like not really, no. I disagree with this. I disagree that people look at that and then they think that they can do it. I think it's widely known that Twitch has a double standard and a bias that people, know about and will not be able to do because one other person did it.
just start escalating and escalating. And then we got people like Mike from PA who brazenly do the shit and like it's 10 times
Like, okay, maybe it creates an incentive for people that are like Hassan to do this. Like, yeah, maybe.
worse. They just go after 4 different people. They're putting bounties on people. They say on site. Okay, the worst part is
On-site,
that Twitch
bro.
is not just people.
It's so funny for this, like, disgusting grease mothball to tell me, like, oh, yeah, this person could, really show up or shut up. Either show up and fight me or shut up. It's like, dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but you look like you were found in a dumpster and then plopped in front of a camera. Like, that's what you look like, okay? If I were to fight you, it would probably be over a fucking, like, GameStop dumpster dive. Like, you and I would be at the same dumpster, and you'd be like, no, I got here first. And it would be after the night of, like, GTA 6, where they, like, I don't know, threw out a fucking bugged copy. And then you would be like, oh, wait, what? Wait, what are you here for? I'm here for GTA 6. Oh no, I'm just here to eat the garbage. We don't have to fight. That's what you would say. You would say, oh no, it's fine. You can dumpster dive. You can get your copies of GTA 6. I'm here to eat the trash. Oh, okay. Sorry, it was a misunderstanding, Mike. Go for it. The trash is all yours.
Bounties on people, they say on site. Okay, the worst part is that Twitch is not just people sitting at home. A large chunk of Twitch is actually people IRL streaming. And the thing is, what happens if you do this in public? If you pull out a gun in public, real or fake, and you start brandishing it on random people, now granted
This man is absolutely saying, hey, beautiful, and then screaming, fuck you, bitch, when you ignore him. Typical.
context is a little bit different, but people might start thinking that is okay if you let this sort of behavior.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's people who punch people if they, okay, like, here's the problem, right? You could say that this maybe indirectly normalizes the punch a Nazi stuff, even though Nazi has just expanded to mean anybody who is not Hassan fan. But we all know that, like, these people are too bitch-made to actually swing. You know, like, I saw this post that said something like, leftists, why don't you own firearms? Because you know at some point we're going to have to actually do the radical change that we're talking about and take over the government to do communism. And they all said, hey, I can't own a gun because I'm a mentally ill loser who cannot leave their bed without getting some sort of like anxiety or PTSD. So I can't go out and buy a gun. So I actually can't do anything. So it's kind of those same people that are going to talk about FAFO and like punch a Nazi. So even if it normalizes this stuff, I'm not even afraid because they're too bitch-made and cowardly to ever do anything like that.
Slide, like, oh, one of the biggest streamers did it, why can't I do it? And that is actually going to start happening.
That would be hilarious though. Like imagine like you literally assault someone and you're like, whoa, Hassan didn't get in trouble for showing the gun. So I thought when I punched you, it'd be fine. Like you literally are like, you should be ground up for biofuel.
People like Hassan are not being banned for things that are openly in violation of TOS. Terrorist support, for example, aiding them by spreading their propaganda and lies, literally illegal activities. And I feel like the only reason people like Hassan orbiters get away with putting literal
Oh my god, wait, what is this clip? Sorry to cut you off, Pegasus. She's reading a chat message from someone that says, I came to see why I was following this channel, and it feels pretty toxic here. Have a good day and be better, chat. Bro, she had beef with someone saying it was toxic in here. Dude, your entire basis for having a platform is associating with someone who's entirely toxic.
bounties on people is that because
And I don't care, okay? I'm kind of toxic. I'm kind of toxic right now. But what are you gonna say? Like it's a wholesome Chungus vibe in here? Bitch, please.
victims have not decided to sue. They would have an absolutely wonderful case against them, but unfortunately, people don't have the time, energy, or money to go through the headache of the legal process. Unless you're Ethan Klein, of course. He will take that shit to court. So it really is just this massive house of cards that is about to crumble down. And if Twitch has any hope of surviving, they need to take action immediately or they are gonna get completely cooked. And by take action, we don't mean 24-hour ban on his literal day off. That is not called taking action. It needs to be a proportional response.
The hell is this shirt? Hold on a second. What is this?
Off. That is not called taking action.
Predatory lending, spectacular. What the hell is this shirt?
It needs to be a proportional response. At this point, it should be like a permaban, not gonna lie. Then Legal Mindset talks about some of the other lawsuits that could be brought up against Twitch.
But you open yourself up to illegal consequences as well. There are arguments in terms of breaching the contract between the creator and the platform in terms of banning somebody for one type of behavior, whereas you don't ban somebody for another. So you don't ban Hassan for this, but let's say another creator is banned for this. Well, there might be a cause of action open up there. Now, there's a lot of challenges with that. That's a difficult one. But one that's even more interesting and one that is really untested, and in fact, there may be many people looking to test this, is a consumer type action under a private right of action. Every state has their consumer laws, and those laws are sometimes very, very strong. And one thing they protect against is unfair and deceptive practices. And it indeed is a very strong case to say it is an unfair and deceptive practice to benefit some people while punishing others. Because this bias, for example, Hassan bias, is not disclosed anywhere. It's not given out in the terms of service. When you read the terms of service, nowhere does it say everyone will be punished except for Hassan Piker. Everyone will be banned except for Hassan Piker. Or For example, if you want to be more broad, everyone will be banned except people who share Hassan Piker's political beliefs.
Hello, Dan Clancy here. Andrew, are you telling me I didn't put that in the terms of service? I actually meant to. This is a Hassan Glazer platform. My bad. In fact, I'm going to throw Hassan a birthday party tonight. He's invited along with all of his Diddy cronies. Anyways, I hear Diddy's court case is going well. Guess we're in the clear too. Dan, what the heck, man? No, but the bias is actually crazy. It is completely evident. It is open and shut. Tectone banned for calling Frogan fat. Hassan not banned for calling someone a skinny bitch. What is the difference?
Well, I think the difference is that being fat is bad, and so when you highlight someone's innate character flaw, which is they're sort of lying to themselves about how much they eat, versus calling someone skinny, it's like, oh, okay, people feel worse about being fat than skinny. And also Tectone was like, you know, calling an actual creator fat, not like a random chatter. And you can get away with that because if the chatter had access to the Twitch staff like Frogan does, then maybe it would be different. But Frogan, you know, she just whines and says, ban him.
E-Rob banned for threatening a viewer. Hassan not banned for threatening a viewer. By the way, E-Rob did not pull out a gun. He literally just said he's gonna punch them or something. It's just so obvious. The bias is so clear. And it doesn't really help Dan admitting that he literally has Hassan as his favorite streamer. He wishes him happy birthday. He agrees with what he says and does. It's just such a wash. And
is that VLC Media Player? Oh my god, it literally is VLC Media Player. That's insane.
Wishes him happy birthday. He agrees with what he
Are we all using Windows Movies now?
Says and does. It's just such a wash, and I can't wait. I can't wait till somebody sues these losers into the ground, bro. Twitch deserves all of this. Then he brings up a really good point. He talks about how people will be fooled into thinking this stuff is okay, but then they end up getting banned for it because Twitch obviously doesn't enforce their TOS equal.
So one of the issues that platforms have in general, and YouTube has the same thing, if you see something on YouTube that's not taken down, you assume by it being out there in public that you can do the same thing. The issue with that is they have said, at least in YouTube's case, that you can't look at something that's on the platform as it being allowed. Like, there was an example, and I remember this because it was, like, insane to me. There's a YouTube short where there's a barber who, like, kisses his client on the lips. It was, like, some stupid meme, right? The client didn't consent to the kiss, so he kind of pushes the barber away, and it's, like, it's funny, okay? It's funny. If you think it's not, I don't know what to tell you. I saw this clip on YouTube Shorts, and then so I put it in a video as this useless filler to extend the video to 8 minutes at the very end. And it got taken down for violating some adult content policy. And so I was like, hold on a second. Well, this video is up on YouTube. How come that video is not taken down? And they said, hey, listen, I don't know, but there being a video of this thing on YouTube is not proof that it's allowed. And so the issue is that people look at that all the time. They're like, well, if he got away with it, I can do it too. Like if he said the word retard and didn't get demonetized, so can I. But people don't understand that it's not unfortunately how it works, even though it's like the easiest way to vet something for its allowance. It's challenging. And so, hey, maybe a new streamer watches Hassan and then thinks they can do that and they get banned. Like that would suck. And that maybe would be, I don't know what the legal case would be there. I don't know the law, but yeah, you know, you never know.
And then they will have a case against Twitch.
By lulling them into a belief that they can stream on your platform safely and do what they want, just like Hassan, but then they're ultimately punished. And they're punished for a much longer period of time. They're losing a much larger slice of revenue, memberships, subscriptions, etc., affiliate deals than Hassan. So you're able to point to that and say, I have damages because I am being banned for 7x, 10x, 30x, way longer than Hassan, and I can bring this private cause of action for an unfair and deceptive practice on the part of Twitch. And there's a lot of folks that may be opened up for that. Real big problem, and would be even a bigger problem if there was a real incident where somebody got into an altercation where there was a threat made like Hassan and then somebody responded with force.
Oh yeah, that shit could totally happen in an IRL streaming context, as I pointed out. If they think, okay, Hassan did it, so I can do it, and they make the dumb mistake of pulling that shit out in public.
That's how you die.
Everyone's
That's how you
gonna
lose your life. If you flash a gun at someone IRL and you think that they're not going to respond, you die and you lose your life. Like, that is literally the dumbest thing ever. If you think that Hassan getting away with it on Twitch means that you can literally point a gun at someone and say, hey, whatever, you're the dumbest fucking moron I've ever seen. Like, you actually are the biggest retard of all time. Legit. Like, legit.
Pointing to Twitch. they will point to this incident as the reason that they thought it was allowed as well. And at this point, there needs to be like a class action lawsuit.
YouTube is like there be naked cleaning videos, but no non-consensual kissing videos that were originally uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, bro. I mean, like, we all know that if there are a music video and there's tits out, that's not gonna get banned. Like, there's so many workarounds to the nudity policy and, like, you know, all this other shit that, like, doesn't even get age restricted, which would just, you know, it's a delicate dance. It is. But generally, in a commentary video, I know that I'm not gonna get hit with that.
Or something, a group of people coming together for all of the lost revenue from all the false bans, all of the damages that people have sustained for being unfairly banned from these platforms. But I don't know, Twitch seems like they will literally burn in hell rather than ever sell out Hassan. They are attached at the hip at this.
I mean, realistically, how much money does he actually make them? Like, Twitch makes how much off Hassan? Well, I guess if they take half the sub money and he makes, let's just call it $500,000 in sub money, then they make $500,000 a month just from Hassan, which is pretty fucking nice. So I can see that. I can see why they do that. But I also don't understand why he would stay on Twitch if they just take half his money. I guess because they just don't ban him, right? There you go. I mean, I answered my own question there.
Literally burn in hell rather than ever sell out Hassan. They are attached at the hip at this point. And we know that Hassan's billionaire dad has a lot of influence, so maybe he's just holding everybody hostage.
What do I see them doing? They've got to do something against Hassan. Hopefully they give him a longer term ban, more than just 24 hours. But unfortunately, Twitch has been known to be very light on its
they're not gonna.
golden
No,
boy.
yeah, I mean, like, if that ever happens, he'll have to legitimately do something that is not even a smallest bit of plausible deniability. Like, he needs to literally pull the trigger of the firearm and actually showcase a shooting, like, on stream. Like, he shoots the floor or something, and you can see the fucking fire crackle out of the barrel or the muzzle. I don't know. Muzzle flash? Yeah, I think that's it. In order for them to actually fucking ban him. Like, yeah. As long as he can say it's like a fake gun, even though, like, it's might not be, and even if it's fake, it could be airsoft, like, that's still enough for them to say, okay, well, we're not gonna ban him.
They're literally just gonna give him a ban on his day off and say that, hey guys, we banned him.
Yeah.
Literally a free vacation.
Yeah.
Unless people literally start emailing Amazon and going after advertisers, this stuff just isn't going to stop.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, all of the good creators on Twitch will also be affected in the crossfire. I'm feeling like there's going to be some sort of an adpocalypse coming up. Basically, people will start getting increasingly frustrated.
Like, the problem with saying that is, wouldn't that have happened already? Like, hasn't there been, like, so many instances where we think it's the worst thing and then he does something else and then we realize that the apocalypse is never coming? I hope it does. Not really. I mean, I don't know. Like, I hope something changes. I don't hope an apocalypse comes because that hurts a lot more people than Hassan. Hassan will be fine. It'll hurt all the smaller creators more than him. So I don't hope it comes. But everyone who's saying that it's gonna happen, nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. It doesn't. Like, we've seen him get worse and worse, where he literally is showing burning fucking Waymos on stream at a violent riot, and like, what, he doesn't get banned at all? Nothing ever happens. Ever.
Frustrated with stuff like this happening. They will go after the advertisers and Amazon, and they obviously don't want any bad PR, so they're gonna start
Full cup of nothing ever happens juice, please.
taking drastic measures. Everyone will get banned. Everybody will suffer because Twitch simply refuses to hold them accountable for anything. Twitch, hi Hassan, when are you going on vacation tomorrow? Okay, we'll do it then. Take care. Leave your pillow behind. Sorry, the spirit of Dan just took over for a sec. Now Hassan responded, but first let's check out some updates on the Hassan orbiters. Basically, here's where they are at. We got 41.
Oh, what's this? This is how much they've raised for their lawsuits? How the hell has Kaceytron raised the most? She's like the least charismatic, says the least, absolutely annoying, like, oh my god. 41 bans? I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm actually shocked. How is she winning? I'm not shocked that she's raised this much. Like, okay, I kind of am, but I also think that it makes sense. Like, there are people who won't watch her that are, you know, Hassan fans that'll drop a few dollars in. It's like, you just need like 500 people to donate $10 to get to 5K? Yeah. And that's already like 1/5 of this, or 1/10 of this, or 1/8 of this, or some shit, right?
3733. In the past 48
Frogan looks like Frogan. She does.
Here's where they are at. We got 41, 37, 33. In the past 48 hours, total donations received for the Ethan Klein Defense Fund. Kaceytron 259, Frogan 160, Denims 151. Denims has received $10 in the last 12 hours. Basically, the donations have completely stagnated, and it seems they're just not going to reach their goal at all. They couldn't even raise
I mean, how much is that in total, though? I mean, it's still over like 100K total. I believe it's like 40 plus 35 plus 30. So, yeah, I mean, you're over the 100K mark. So it's not like an insignificant amount of money for them in total. But I will say that it's not great. It's not great.
Stagnated. And
It's still
it
too
seems they're
much.
just not going to reach their goal at all. They couldn't even raise half the amount they asked for, half the amount needed for the lawsuit. So yeah, they're just completely cooked now. The initial sort of hype, all that like rage baiting on Twitter, you know, lying about Ethan and basically anyone that supports him. That worked for a little bit and you got a few donations, but it's just not nearly enough. And I guess, Hassan, it's time to open up that wallet, boy. Moving on to Kaceytron. Right, so last time we talked about how she was getting married outside a Walmart.
I'm
and she was
sorry. No. This can't be real. This cannot be real. Also, before anyone types it, I know, brutal pause frame. We can all take a second to collect ourselves. Holy shit. I mean, holy shit. Holy shit.
Hassan, it's time to open up that wallet, boy. Moving on to Kaceytron. Right, so last time we talked about how
I don't know who is worse here, because, I mean, like, this is a brother. Like, as a man, as a guy, I feel some level of a fundamental brotherhood and fraternity with all men out there. Like, I could, you have small elevator chats with guys all the time. You're like, hey, what's up? Whatever. You can have this level of baseline male common experiences. And so if I really wanted to, I could go to like a bar, maybe like tonight or tomorrow, and then like make a few new buddies, right? But then I see people like this, and I think, do I even want to be a man anymore? It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
she was getting married outside a Walmart, and she was basically
There's no way it's real.
doing her usual shtick, calling everybody incels, and like saying her man is a big, strong man. Also, somebody pointed this out, but there was like a grinder notification sound that played.
Oh.
I don't know where that came from, but Casey, you might have to double check your mans.
Wait,
also,
what?
an
That's
absolute
crazy.
sucker that got roped
They're probably just trying to have like a foursome.
into paying for her lawsuit. Absolute idiot. Anyways, here's
They probably have like an open relationship and they're looking for like a fifth
I got roped
or a fourth.
into paying for her lawsuit. Absolute idiot. Anyways, here's what she's been up to. Kaceytron is apparently watching a movie. Kaceytron is currently doing a fundraising stream for a copyright infringement lawsuit by watching a movie.
Oh, nice.
Copyright infringement lawsuit, but watching a movie. You can't make this shit up. What the actual F is going on? What Twitch, Dan Clancy? Old man's asleep at the wheel, lol. And here we have her actually
Fourth,
watching
because Kaceytron counts as two people. Good point.
a movie. Absolutely shameless. I think she knows she's cooked, bro. Universal, you got an idiot already being sued for copyright. Literally doing the same thing to y'all. She's making thousands of dollars. Bro, if she gets sued by Universal, her entire family is going bankrupt at that point. Raising money by committing massive copyright infringement. The amount of retardation and idiocy. Only Kaceytron could be this level of fucking stupid, dude. Violating copyright again while being sued for copyright. 1 billion IQ move. She's literally gonna catch another lawsuit while fighting this one. So anyways, after this, she started
Nice.
beefing with Ethan Klein again. Basically, Ethan posted this. She's on a road trip right now instead of finding a lawyer. How much of the 41K do you think she's already spent on weed? She responded,
I don't know, but I mean, I feel like she's spending like $100 for an eighth.
I would never spend a cent of the GoFundMe for my legal defense on anything other than that. Ethan Klein is mad that I'm having a better time in Branson in a $60 per night hotel room than he is on
So we're flexing that we're poor.
vacation that probably costs more than low-income people make in a year. So let me get this straight, by
The fuck? Wait, I don't understand that. So she's flexing that he... What?
vacation that probably costs more than low-income people make in a year. So let me get this straight, by the way. Kaceytron has apparently been a content creator
Whoa. What the hell? The helly? She's playing CS?
for like a decade. So like, how do you have no money? Like, how are you broke? I just don't understand this.
Yeah, wait, she's been making content for literally 10 years.
What were you doing this entire time? You've literally been unemployed and earning no money. You've literally been a bum for 10 years, and now you're crying about being low income? Get a job. Oh my god. We got the brain rot Hassan fan. I do not understand why he's always publicly advertising how miserable he is, despite having zero actual real problems. I mean, how is this acting miserable? He's literally just making fun of you. Here's a crazy fact. You can completely shit on people on a regular basis and have a wonderful time every day. In fact, that's what I do. Literally living the dream life here, alright? And I still find time to shit on you guys. It's called efficiency, you know? We got Nux responding, the incels are watching your career with great interest. Casey, in case your man turns out to be gay, don't worry. I got a great candidate for you. Mike from PA will
Jesus Christ.
be stepping up. He's an actual ladies man, I hear. Honestly, the way he's posting about you is absolutely horrible for his
Jesus
case. I'm surprised his
Christ,
attorney
bro.
hasn't told him to shut the frick up. Bro, you're talking about Kaceytron. She doesn't even have
Yeah, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win the lawsuit? The Jew with infinite money or Kaceytron?
an attorney.
Guys, I have no idea. Like, really?
The slob is speaking. Quick, everyone pay attention. All that money and not a drop of semi-glitude inside. Be
Semi-glutide?
big and beautiful.
That's the active ingredient in Ozempic.
I don't think that's a compliment. By the way, is this Gromp? Your name is Gromp? I don't know which Gromp this is referring to. If this is the Gromp from League of Legends, it's supposed to be like this fat blob monster. Anyways, then she continued crying. Today was a rough day. The non-stop brigading on all of my socials. The smear campaign started by bad faith incel. There we go. There we go.
Nice.
She's an addict. She cannot make a single statement without the word. Bad faith
Classic.
incel cult communities to be immediately laundered by snark subreddits. Cry baby men wouldn't last a day being a woman in this manosphere incel hellscape.
Nice.
Lord save me.
Yeah, you ain't even religious. Don't you dare say, Lord, save me. You need to save yourself. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, pull yourself up by your food stamps, and let's just say put the weed down, put down the cup, put down the bong, put down the pizza, get on a treadmill, okay? And during those runs, you can think about how you can unfuck yourself legally, which will take some time. And trust me, I hope it takes some time, because the more time you spend thinking, the more time you spend running. And let's just say when you're running, maybe you'll have a eureka, you know? A moment where you truly understand how fucked you are, and you seriously try to unfuck yourself. That'd be great. I would hope so. And I also don't understand, truly, how 10 years, a decade, legit since like what, 2015 you've been doing streaming. I didn't even know what the fuck streaming was in 2015. Actually, that's a lie. I probably did. But I certainly did not know who you were, and I certainly did not know any streamers. And so you've been doing this for what, 10 years, and you got no bans? How? I mean, how? Like, you could have gone on, like, I just don't get that.
And then she's just posted a picture of her, like,
And you're smoking.
did you get evicted or something? What the heck is this? She's in an orange suit. You got arrested? What? It was funny when you were encouraging it to happen to Ethan, huh? If incel was a legal defense, you might not be in debt for the rest of your life.
Yes,
Oh my god, that's brutal. Just smoke another blunt, bro. You'll be fine. Then smoke another one. That's what you do, right? We need a financial audit. We need to see how much of that legal money.
Legitimately the best case against smoking weed. Like, I don't think I'll ever want to smoke weed watching this person. Like, if I ever, for some reason, like, I don't smoke weed. But if I ever looked at this person before ever wanting, let's just say I was in like a room and like it was Trump, you know, maybe like Trump, Drake, some of the like the most famous people in the world all in a room, and they're passing the blunt. Fuck, like maybe I gotta hit it. You know, maybe I just gotta hit it. Maybe they're passing it around. It's a blunt rotation. You got some famous ass people in there. Okay, you know, it's my turn to hit the blunt. I legit might not if I just saw a Kaceytron clip. You know, it's crazy. She makes me want to stop hitting blinkers. Well, you should stop hitting blinkers in general, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
He is going to weed. But anyways, in classic Hassan fashion, he actually responded to Legal Mindset, calling him a right-wing freak. Like, no
nice.
way you're
Classic.
actually
Classic.
denying the facts, bro. Hassan takes shots at Legal Mindset, implies he will never acknowledge his content.
Dude, there's something so funny about people being like, dog, have you seen the Legal Mindset video about you? Dude, if I were to cover every Rumble lawyer, fake lawyer that actually is like a fucking right-wing freak that spends most of their time talking about like trans people, I would lose my mind. I would have no time to cover anything else. I get it. A lot of you are drama perverts, okay? And you nut when you think about the prospect of drama. But I'm not going to pay any mind or any attention to some fucking psychotic mag.
But you will pay attention and show a firearm when someone shit talks you on chat. Okay, so that makes sense. So let's just make sure I break down this logic. A lawyer who's made content explaining how legally you could be liable, no, that's not worth it, right? That's not worth anything. But some random anon in your chat, that is worth something. Okay, that makes sense. You're definitely not a low IQ pig.
A lawyer, not a real lawyer, but a passport bro, who offers fucking courses on becoming a passport bro, who primarily fucking streams on Rumble. Why do you guys come in here and ask for this stuff? It's never gonna happen, okay? is never happening. We're talking about Lebu's 20.
What's a passport, bro? It's some guy, usually a white guy, who's sub 5. He's kind of ugly and short, and unfortunately is unable to date in the West and get laid. And so what he does is he gets a passport and then flies to East Asia and then tries to fuck Asian women.
4-carat gold Lebu's. Dude, you gotta watch the
Big Ed Core. We're getting there. There you go.
Sigma Grindset lawyer's fucking video on you. Okay. I'm good, man. Thanks.
Okay, so first off, you are literally just lying. Legal Mindset is a lawyer. That is not up for debate. That is a fact. Now, you can say that you don't agree with his analysis of the events. You can say that his interpretation of the law is not correct. But you can't say he's a fake lawyer. That is just wrong. But obviously, Hassan does not give a single shit about the truth. He just wants to smear Legal Mindset in front of his chat and in front of his followers so they don't take any words that he says seriously, even though he is an actual lawyer. Please open your textbooks, ladies and gentlemen, to chapter 2 of Hassanetics. The law is pro-Ethan. Lawyers only count if they support terrorists. That's how you actually pass the bar. You proclaim your support.
I love this clip.
For Hezbollah. That will be on the test this Tuesday. Make sure to have the right answer. We only use the Hassan school of logic here. Of all the great thinkers in history, first came Socrates, then Plato, then Aristotle, then Hassan Piker, of course. Truly a legendary figure in history. I really wonder, when 50, 100 years pass, will this guy actually go down in some like textbooks as one of like the stupidest people in history? Because he really is like a modern day icon. A mind-boggling level of stupidity. Heck, maybe I'll go down in history for documenting this shit, dude. Maybe one of your guys' comments is gonna show up in the curriculum. Some alien's gonna be studying the human species and have to come across Hassan Piker. Now, this person responded, bro, Legal Mindset, he legit called you a fake lawyer. Who's gonna tell him? Legal Mindset responded, technically that's defamation to imply a lawyer is not a lawyer, but slander is par for the course. One might say it's his strong point. If Hassan was like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, he'd have like 1,000 points in terrorist support, 2,000 points in slander, 3,000 points in bullshit, special ability in gaslighting. Is there ever a moment where Hassan isn't talking down to his chat? His own fans ask him totally reasonable questions, and he acts like they just support Nazis.
No, there isn't. There's not a time where he looks at his chat and doesn't talk down to them and condescend. That's all he does.
How do they even watch him knowing that he hates every one of them, Lamar?
I don't know, because they're like Stockholm Syndrome. Who even knows? Anyway, good video. I'm not going to watch the rest of this because I think we get the gist, but yeah, great video.